Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. So I have exciting news for you to kind of get you guys all geared up for the weekend. And if this isn't big news, I don't know what is. But CoinWorld had done an article yesterday. Today's the 29th of July. Yesterday, the 28th, they uploaded a new article that I wanted to personally respond to because I think this is exciting news. But a young collector, and you guys can check out the CoinWorld article anytime you want, but there's going to be more information I'm going to give you here that you guys need to know about that is not on the CoinWorld article. But a 10-year-old boy actually found 14 of probably one of the most widely searched for quarters currently, and that's going to be the 2022 American ladies, American women, Wilma Mankiller quarter error. Now, this is going to be the coin that's going to feature the cud on the obverse, and some of them actually have a die crack that's nearly bisected, but we haven't seen a later state where the crack goes all the way through on the reverse. But collector, a young 10-year-old boy, went through some rolls, ended up finding 14. He's 10 years old. He found 14 of them. And if we were going to put some sort of like dollar value on it, considering that the most recent example sold for over $500, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about over $6,000 worth of coins out of 14 quarters. Now, he is located in Florida, which originally, right from the very beginning when I first reported on this a few weeks back, is where a lot of these quarters were coming up. Okay, so myself and a few of the panel members actually went through some rolls that we bought from Florida. It came up pretty empty. This was actually last night on our live coin Q&A, just a coin roll hunting event that we had done kind of on the fly. But this is a coin, ladies and gentlemen, that a few days ago, after doing just loads of research, just really coming up and just kind of counting the amount of these coins that have surfaced through the forum chat pages, through social media, things of that nature. Originally, we were looking for, right around 10 or less examples that's been discovered up to this point. But obviously, a young numismatist found 14, blowing that number clear out of the water. Now, it looks like, from what I understand, is that he had found the coins with just the obverse retain cut. And that is kind of been the one progression type that a lot of folks have been coming across, although there's probably a good 4 or 5 of the other type where there's the obverse cut and the reverse die crack, just the one-sided kind of event. Now, has been what's been found so far in greater numbers. But judging based off of the overall secondary market activity, these things are exploding. And finding 14, was that due to the market? Well, it really doesn't do a whole lot at all, except one thing. It proves that these things travel in batches. And if you're able to pick up rolls and go through them and find one, more than likely you're going to find a lot more. Because like I had stated in previous videos till the beginning of time of BlueRidgeSilverhound, is that generally when you go through a full kind of virgin box of one particular date and it's all mid-state, it's like, it's kind of been the bane of existence for a lot of people that coin roll hunt. They never really liked looking for, or being handed by a bank teller a full brand new box of one particular date. But normally in a single box like this, in this particular instance, you would expect to find coins that were produced anywhere from 2 to 3 different sets of dies. Okay, you might have the same obverse die and a different reverse die, and then another coin within the box will have the same obverse die, but a completely different reverse die. Or they might be completely different at any other variant thereof. But that is the big reason why I say that these travel very well together, and seeing as how, again, the coin found in Florida helps illustrate the kind of like the main concentration or drop zone is in this state. Now, there have been examples. There's been one found in Alabama. Let's see. A lot of them have been found in Florida, and we haven't come up with enough data to suggest that they're being found elsewhere, although we did have a viewer that did send us a picture of a coin that they did find that they're not located in the southeast region of the U.S. at all. So that's going to be pretty big news when we talk about it this coming Monday on our live coin Q&A event, our live event that we normally do every Monday. But this is really spectacular. Another thing to point out is that these coins are coming up in every different type of roll type. Originally, I thought, NF String and Sun source rolls were going to be the kind of rolls that you would look for this coin. And that's just simply not the case. The most recent example that was sent to our email was actually found in a Loomis roll. So again, the idea that these exist in any one certain roll in greater quantities is simply just not true. So with that being said, do not narrow yourself into just looking for one specific type of roll to find these coins at. They're being found all throughout. All right. So outstanding news. Just off of the Coin World article, it looks like Mike Diamond, who's one of the main kind of like error attributors out there on the face of the earth, a main contributor to a lot of publications and Kaneka and things of that nature. He had his fingerprints all over this article, of course. He had explained that quite a few of the planchets were struck by this pair of fractured dies, so that's finding the obverse and the reverse events on the same coin. Apparently, quite a few of them were struck. The earlier stages don't show the die crack on the reverse. Now, it's all speculative of whether or not that is indeed the early stage when you're only finding the coin with the obverse cut, or if at some point later on down the line, the reverse die was found to be fractured and terminal, they replaced that, but retained the obverse die with the cut. So they replaced that reverse die, put new grease on all the machinery, the dies and things like that, so it run like a well-oiled machine, and that's why a lot of them have that strike through on there. So that would in turn be the later stage, is when they did that changeover of the reverse die. Again, I'm not sure what progression or what order this all occurred. Could have very well been that the coin with the reverse crack develop over time, over many strikes. He had also mentioned it's hard to say which, without a shot of the edge. The well-struck area within the retained cut suggests it's grease, since retained cuts are often less well-struck than the surrounding area. So that's another thing to point out as well, whether or not it was indeed grease to contribute to the actual weakness on the obverse cut coin type, error coin type, as opposed to the one that has the double-sided error event on there. So pretty cool. Again, these can be found in any sort of rolls, and as of right now, Florida is the main kind of concentration point in which these were being distributed, but yet I'm going to say that you should not, just because they're being dropped in Florida doesn't mean that you shouldn't look through them all across the East Coast. Because again, we did have a submitter that did find one in a roll that is not in the Southeast, and we're going to reveal exactly where that is on Monday for you. We don't want to give up too much information. We want to keep a little bit of a carrot dangling in front of you guys. But going into this weekend, okay, a few things to keep in mind. We had a number of these sell on eBay. The most recent of examples sold for over $500, and that is for the single-sided obverse retain cut with the strike through. And The previous example to that was actually the same error, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, that one had the die crack, the bisecting die crack on the reverse. That sold for just over $300. No, that one was just the obverse cut. Sorry about that. There was also another example with the reverse bisecting crack that sold for $625 or $650 as a best offer. That was about a week ago. Someone on one of my videos commented that he was indeed the buyer of that particular coin. So there's a lot of new pricing data that's hitting the streets right now. As of right now, I don't think there's any reported listings of that coin, but kind of as an aside to what we're going to be seeing here as we continue through time of these coins circulating, is that this is going to be a one and done affair. All right, so your only shot really to find one in decent shape is going to be now, and the big reason is in roughly 2 weeks, the U.S. Mint will begin distribution of the next American Women Quarter, the Nina Otero Warren. All right, so as of right now, they have the bags and rolls set. That's going to be available on the U.S. Mint website on the 16th of August, and it is right around that time period, I think a few days before, in which they will release the actual coins into circulation. So that's going to be the next hammer to fall in all of this. Should be a lot of excitement with each release, because through the first 3 releases, the Maya Angelou, the Sally Ride, and of course the Wilma Mankiller, which is like taking the world by storm right now, there has been all sorts of errors and various other kind of weird, funky stuff that's being found on these quarters. And there's even been some weird stuff being found on Denver minted examples as well. Not to mention just the gamut of other denominations of coins that exist with the 2022 date on it. We're finding strike-throughs, we're finding off-center strikes, we're finding all sorts of weird stuff, rotated die errors on the nickels, especially from last year, but people have reported finding like 45-degree rotated dies on the Jefferson nickels bearing the 2022 date and Philadelphia mint marks. So, yeah, that's a heck of a news story right there. Not quite breaking news, but heck, when a kid finds $6,000 worth of quarters out there just by going through a few rolls, I mean, that's pretty big deal right there. Prices will continue to climb, especially for the much more scarcer combination obverse retained cud, reverse crack types. Will certainly continue to go up. You know, we'll see $700, $800 price levels because there's only been like one listed every 7 days, and it's giving off kind of like vibes of scarcity and FOMO for a lot of collectors and error enthusiasts that want to own that coin. All right, so now is the FOMO, the fear of missing out, and all the kind of like the weird stuff that people are going through mentally and psychologically a right thing for the coin? Well, it kind of is. Again, that's all based on scarcity. If we're going to go on through time here in the next 6 to 12 months, you better believe that there's not going to be too many of these. It just so happens that one kid found a honey hole of it, okay, the same way that I found a honey hole of 2021 Lincoln cents, but I mean, have you guys looked? I mean, there's not too many of them out there. So I got lucky the same way that this young man got lucky. And that was just an amazing rip by him. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that, let you guys know where we're kind of standing, the timeline of events between now and the end of the year. We got the Nina Otero coming out in 2 weeks. And then after that, the final installment, which is going to be the Anime Wong, is going to be October 25th. Wow, that's actually a little bit early in the year for the final installment of a quarter. Usually that's like November, you know, but it still falls within the holiday time period. That's going to be the last one. Again, these quarters are hot. They are highly coveted. They're being highly searched for any sort of errors. There's a new double to die reverse on the Maya Angelou. It's a doubled earring, and there's also another variant of the doubled earring that's being submitted to Dr. Wiles as we speak. So there's a whole run of different really cool stuff that you guys need to be on the lookout for. The fever pitch can be any more exciting, and I can't believe that I'm talking about this in the middle of summer when traditionally the coin market kind of takes a little bit of a breather, and we're just not seeing that right now. This program has been just high-class, world-class, crappy quality, and I couldn't love it any more than I do right now. It's been such an exciting ride. It's a good time to be in the hobby, to have the ability to go to the bank and pick up rolls. I mean, it's like playing the lottery. The only way that you're going to have the shot to win is if you pick up a lottery ticket, because if you don't, you're not going to win, all right? So call your banks this weekend. Make sure you get your hands on some rolls or boxes and get to work. Find some of those. I'm here on the West Coast. I don't have that luxury. And quite frankly, paying $25, $30 a roll for me to obtain them, I did that and ended up skunking all around. It's just not worth it for me. I'd rather just do the content, you know, tell you guys and just kind of shoot you all of the relevant news regarding some of the errors and varieties that are being found. So that's what I want to talk about. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Congratulations to the young kid in Florida finding all these. Oh, by the way, he's a contributor to the YN blog on the ANA website. So that's even better to hear. Someone with a pulse to the hobby, you know, found all of these coins. And that's a Coin World article. Go ahead and check it out. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. You guys take care. Love you guys. Happy hunting. And I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.